All right, in this video, I want to tell you guys about my experience with being suspended on Amazon. So I did a lot of research online, but this is essentially all of my findings put together. And so in this video, we're going to talk about the why I got suspended, the timeline, like go over the whole timeline of the entire experience, and then we'll look at my appeals and how they grew over time. And I went and got professional help, and we'll show just how much that helped, and then what I can give as advice to other people, because I've helped other people with their Amazon suspensions before and issues, and there's some core tenets that people need to be looking for. And so we're going to share those as the video goes out. But you've got to be very careful when you're dealing with Amazon with an account suspension, because if you don't do it right and you do it a couple times, they might just say, this guy, he doesn't understand the rules. He's not working with us, so we're not gonna let him back on. So let's just get into it right now then. Okay, so essentially, I got suspended on December 23rd of 2015. So granted, things have been updated a little bit since then, but this is my experience. So I got suspended because I was doing retail arbitrage, and I had also a company then when I was taking computer parts, like big Apple iMac computers, and I was taking them and refurbing them and sending them out. And I essentially got suspended for, they said this, all right, so we suspended your account because the buyer or rights owner complained about the items we received and whatnot. So essentially, I got suspended for used items sold as new and incomplete missing items. So that's what this is going to be about. But there's a lot of learnings in here if you didn't have this issue, because I've gotten suspended for other reasons, and I've helped my friends with, yet again, more reasons. So essentially, I tried to go and do this by myself and just write my own appeals letter. And I spent about 5 days looking into that and writing it up. And essentially, here was my response. There's links here down below that I'll actually show you guys my whole just response with them, so you could see what worked and what didn't, so that you could write yours a little bit better. I did a bunch of research on forums, but okay, so this was my first response. And I basically said, we were responded for this. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We did we did a lot of research on all our orders, and it basically, I said what we did wrong, and then description of the items used or whatever, and then, but like, you guys can go and read this all if you want. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but I addressed each point that they talked about, and then in this and whatnot, I like, basically, I don't even want to read this right now to you guys, and that's how bad, because it was bad. If I'm you got to understand who is reading these reps, okay? Is some guy in India who's got a quota, and he has to get through so many of these, and he doesn't want to work hard. All right, this does not look fun and easy to digest, and their main thing is they want to make sure you know exactly what you need to be doing and that you're selling on the platform correctly. So basically, my issue was I had been doing retail arbitrage and got products and then sold them. And some of them, shouldn't have been new and they were used, and I was getting complaints about that. And then the other one was I wasn't following the product detail page correctly, because I was selling on an iMac computer one and I didn't include the extra part. Okay, so I addressed those, but my it's not easily readable. Okay, so just reading through it here, it wasn't bad, and I addressed stuff, but I think the reason this one got denied was I tried to shift blame a little bit to somebody else. I was blaming Amazon for their repackaging service when it was really me selling not the best goods. And it was part of Amazon as well. And then, and by the way, I still private label in case you're new to this video. So just I have advice for people that are not doing just retail arb and whatnot too. Yeah, so I went through and I did this pretty well, and I even said I was going to remove every product that that has ever been returned for any reason. I removed all of these. We're going to undercheck all our goods. We're going to have better outline in the future, but this just wasn't the best. It was hard to read for the rep to read, and he just wasn't the happiest. And a lot of the times they'll just deny your first one also. And then my steps for the future to prevent this weren't the best. I would just say we would do checklists and stuff. It could have been done better. So then I went out and I reached to what is it? It's called eGrowth Partners now. It's with Cynthia Stein. I highly suggest that people use it. The link is down there. I will receive affiliate commission for that one. But I'll give you ones that I wouldn't. Amazon Seller's Lawyer is another option. He's a good guy, CJ. And then I don't know. There's other ones, but I haven't heard of any. But I had a great experience with Cynthia Stein's because I bought her book, and that's how I found out about her. And after I got suspended, and I read through it, and it just teaches you absolutely every reason you could get suspended and what you need to do ahead of time to make sure you don't. And they were I liked their service because it was like plug and play, and they would do all the work for you. So I ended up hiring them. So if we go to here, you'll see then I got denied right away in 1.5 hours. And they just said, send it again. So essentially, you might get denied no matter how good your claim is. But I said, I want to go, and I value selling on Amazon. So I'm going to go get a professional to make this bulletproof and just get it done. So we did that. I bought their Ascension. It was like $500, and they go over your account, and they figure out all the issues and give you assessment. $500 was like, whatever. I'm losing more money by not doing this. Did that. It was a holiday weekend, and essentially they, we went through the assessment though, like one day. They told me all these things that I didn't even know about, and they looked for areas of issue that weren't in my first appeal. So this is like one of the key tricks. You want to be proactive. So not only do you need to address everything that has happened, you need to then also go on top of that and find other issues and show that you're proactive, because they want to make sure you're not going to be a problem seller anymore. So that's what we did, and we found, and we actually then, I didn't do this before, but then we showed what do we do to make this right. In the first appeal and whatnot, I hadn't gone and contacted those customers, apologized and refunded them. So we ended up doing that, going through and now making a very well organized plan of action, and that's what worked for us. Essentially, basically it was New Year's Eve and whatnot in the weekend, so it took a bit for them to get back to me, but then we went through and basically on Sunday on the they did all the work for me, and then they wrote the draft on Monday, and then I went back and forth with them because I just wanted to make sure it was absolutely perfect, and then we submitted our case on the 7th. Now this feedback loop could have been a lot faster if I would have responded to emails faster, and then I would have just not had the holiday weekend. But then Amazon responded the same day on the 7th after. So here was our second one that we ended up making. People can have this template. We essentially just submitted this on the third attempt also, and it worked. We just made like 2 tweaks. So here's the other thing. It really depends on your Amazon rep at the end of the day. And you just never give up and don't stop fighting, but make sure you've done it well. So then I said like this, we would like to appeal, addressing this. And then here's the thing we added. Upon review of our account, we noticed other areas that we feel should be addressed as well. So the proactivity, this is what they want to see. Yeah, I just said we took actions, and then basically here's the plan of actions. Because if we look at this last one, let's just compare them. So that versus this, like, oh, cool, it's clear. This is why they got suspended, and then this is other things they did. And then here's the plan of action summary. Okay? And then here's like a step-by-step plan of what we're going to do. So we're going to do that for this issue. We're going to do that. And then we explained what happened with each ASIN in the issue, and that we addressed the customer and apologized to them, and the cause of the complaint. So, now we're showing we know exactly what happened on everything that you guys complained about, and then here is the cause, and here is the following action that we've taken. Okay? And then what we did is, so then we are implementing a new process for all things in the future. And then we addressed incomplete, here's the step 2, addressing this stuff that they didn't even talk about. So it's like, oh, cool. Because somebody basically, they're going to skim through this. I'm not even going to read it. Nobody's going to read it. But if it's easy like this, they'll read the bold stuff and they'll read the outlined whatnot. It's like, cool. They just want to know, okay, is this person like organized? Are they thorough? Or they really have a good thing? Okay, maybe they're just reading through here. And then this, oh, wait, I improved something about just in general making Amazon customers happy, because at the end of the day, the number one thing they want to see is that they're getting a good experience for the customer. That's the number one rule at Amazon and internally, and should be for us sellers. So we did that, and then they denied it. But then we just submitted the same thing again with just like a tiny change or two, and it worked. So that was my experience with the suspension. So I guess if I had to summarize it all up, my main learnings is you got to focus on the customer and giving a good experience to the Amazon customer. Hire a professional if you want it to get done faster. They even have expedited services, and they're going to get you an answer a lot faster and something that's well structured versus taking the stress of doing it all yourself. Especially like now, maybe if you're scrappy and you don't have a lot of money, go and do it yourself, okay? But if you want to make, like if you're losing more money every day, if you've got a good business, you're losing money and potential growth and whatnot. So get that handled. Like I hire out everything now that I don't want to do, and even stuff I do want to do just to go faster. So I would suggest you hire it out and take all the stress off. It's like, you got people working for you on this and not yourself. Keep it short and organized. Well, this one wasn't the shortest. It was really well organized, so somebody could skim over it. And that's the other option. Some people say go short, but I have not personally gone short on stuff. Be ready. Yeah, they're going to reject you probably the first time. Very few people get through on the first one, but you can make that better by having it organized. And to be proactive and take responsibility. But a warning, it depends on what type of suspension you have, okay? So don't admit to something that you could potentially be deal killer. You got to think of everything on Amazon of like, how bad is it for the platform? If you're doing massively black hat stuff, this is where you're going to need professional advice, because I don't know what to tell you. Now, if it was something that's kind of like, it's frowned upon, but it's not the big deal at the end of the day, maybe you just admit to it. But professionals will tell you, and in my situation, they said just like say where you bought the stuff from, and then be honest. Maybe the stuff I was buying wasn't from authorized distributors from a retail store, but we just said that. And then we said, in the future, we're going to make sure that we blah, 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 and don't do that and whatnot. So just being honest and transparent and getting professionals help be the big thing that I got to say. Don't say like, oh, well, other sellers are doing this and whatnot. That is a great way for them to say this guy. Because then what if, that's just a terrible argument. They're saying, hey, you're doing something wrong. They're like, oh, but everybody else is. Like, that's not going to make them say, oh, well, we should just let it do it. Like, we want everybody breaking the rules. No. Just think about it logically. And then prevent suspension before it happens. So I would suggest everybody buy Cynthia Stein's book. It's like $20. The link is down there. But that one, it was really good and thorough. Okay? And it tells you the reports. So I would have fixed this situation ahead of time if I would have looked at my performance notifications and take those seriously and looked at my return reports. And there's return reports. There's order defects and everything, and then you want to look on each ASIN, and maybe if you start to see a lot of returns or issues on one ASIN, figure out what the root problem is and fix it. That's what you got to do, okay? The cost of fixing it ahead of time is going to be way less and less stressful than waiting till you're suspended, okay? Address the problems and read every notification. And I even respond to those now and say, hey, Amazon, thank you for notifying us. We've taken steps to fix this. And because you're going to get a lot of warnings ahead of time. It does not just come out of nowhere. All right. Unless you were doing something really black hat that like now it's just like they catch you on. But, that's what it's going to be. And then reports to read. Imperfect orders, negative feedback, returns, A to Z claims, all emails. If customers are complaining about stuff, they have Amazon has robots that are reading all of that, okay? Amazon tracks everything, and they will catch a lot of stuff. And it can even just be one order with a bad return that says something about it being dangerous, and that could be enough to take you down. So just take everything into account. This is your business, it's your baby, your child. Like, take care of it like that, and don't maybe lose a little bit of short-term success but no, you won't even, because your business is going to grow faster. So this is my experience. The links are down there, the whole thing. So I hope that you guys gain from this. And now I'll just end this with what are the things that I've seen other people get in trouble for. So recently, as of 6/10/2018, they're taking people down for Facebook review groups, okay? They're taking people down for bad email follow-ups and other stuff. So really make sure everybody reads that terms of service. And you now got to make decisions of your business of, well, what's good for the Amazon platform, okay? That's how I always think of things. And is what I'm doing good, like going to make the customer happy and the platform better? Then maybe be doing it. But if it's not, like Facebook review groups and stuff, like they're going to crack down on it eventually. I made a video about a couple weeks ago, and then they just did. And now I'm helping out someone, and it's a headache. You do not want to be doing this. You don't want to be dealing with it. I would rather be focused on how do we get a couple more reviews than this. Trust me. So just follow the terms of service, and yeah, some updates make it harder, but the people who are willing to put in the hard work are going to succeed. And then never give up with these account suspensions. Get a professional help, and really make sure you know the rules and adhere to them, because this is the greatest opportunity in the world, and there's no shortcuts, okay? So just stay on the good side, and you could sleep well every night, like just not being afraid and in fear of Amazon taking you down. If you know you're doing things right at the end of the day and you're not breaking the terms of service, and they somehow suspend you and still don't let you get back on, you can talk to CJ, and he'll go bring them to arbitration, and you can likely get your account back still, even if you fail at everything somehow. So the people that are running their business right, if you're watching this, you probably haven't been. It's okay. There's still probably hope. Most everybody gets their account back unless you did something super serious many times. You'll get back on track. Don't be too afraid. Very few people get permanently banned. But yeah, trust me, you don't want to be in the place of being permanently banned. So get some help, do this right, and make some serious changes and get back there and crush it. So thanks for watching.